Hey guys, so you're not sure how to get started when actually doing vector designs or even doing an Astrochimp? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use Adobe Illustrator whilst doing vectors and how to do an Astrochimp. Creative and designy, engaging advice. Subscribe to my channel where you'll be notified every single Tuesday of new design tips I have for you. So once you have actually gotten to the point where you've illustrated your design and you've drawn your sketch, you now obviously want to scan it and put it into your computer. So here you can see clearly my Astrochimp. I've obviously done the chimp without any full gear, but that's just because I want to add a little bit of a abstracty kind of effect, I guess. So yeah, here we go. So you've got the Astro, the hat, the spaceship hat, and he's on top of the world. I might change this along the way. So I've taken these pictures and I downloaded them from Pinterest. I'm going to walk you through how I literally do my vector and how I'm going to go around. I will probably fast forward some parts because it might take me a while, because when you're doing vectors you want to make sure your lines are so clean that when you do get to color in it and selecting the actual items, it's just easier to work with. So let's get cracking. Okay, so first thing first is you want to make sure that the transparency is low on this, and when I do that, I also put it on a layer, sorry, not level, lower. So I put it on a separate layer. So I'll literally lock that layer and then I'll just put it on top. Some people like to name it, but just for the education of this video, I'm gonna name it for you. Cool, so let's get started. So you have your pen tool, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that the swatches here are actually that the filling side swatch color is not actually has a color in it, because what's going to happen is when you start doing shapes, it's going to start filling it in when you haven't actually closed the shape yet. So you don't actually want to do that. So what you want to do is you want to turn that off. So with this X button, and then there you have it. So because this is a round circle in itself, and as this was a sketch, I want to use accurate measurements. The great thing about vector is that you can use accurate measurements when doing this. So what I've done is I've grabbed the circle tool and I've pressed the shift key whilst dragging it. And that's it. Please note guys, I am using a PC, I'm not using a Mac, so I don't actually remember what the keys are for the Mac, but if they're the same, then hey, that's great news. Okay, so let's just keep that one at that. So that's the circle, that's the base. And then what you want to do is just zoom in whilst you're doing it. When you're doing all these vectors and details, it really helps when you zoom in. Why? Because you can actually, it just makes life so much easier when you're starting and when you're actually trying to make sense as to where you're going and how you're going on about it. So I'm actually going to illustrate the shape of the spaceship head, the headgear. I actually don't know the name of this, I'm going to find out. So yeah, I'm just going to start. So I'm just doing the lines. So what I've done is I've clicked and I'm clicking here. So when I'm actually clicking to get this line to be curved, I would click to the end of the point. The whole point of vectors is for you to put the least amount of points as possible. So here, these two are points. So you want to click on this point and then you just want to literally position it in the right place. So this is the awkward thing. These are times when you will have to zoom out. So if you do have a good eye, if you don't, then you will have to find your own way of how to actually work about this. But you just literally just try and find the best way to fit it around. And so this one looks like it fits around. I'm quite happy with that, to be fair. And then, so when you want to click, when you want to click and continue the work, then you literally just start on the next side. I don't know what's happened. Sometimes it toggles, so you just want to continue that. And yeah. So I want to continue it. Something's gone wrong here. I think it's because I've just been zooming out and toddling it around. So you just literally click on your point and then you just drag it to the next point. So it's here. So it will come out a bit and I will be adjusting that, and then I'll just click it so it won't, so it will still, so the corner will look still look sharp. So then I'll click it on this point, so that's where I want to connect it, and then you literally just adjust it again. Before I do that, let me just make this smaller, and cool. And so that part's actually done. So now I want to make sure that that these are all fitted within the globe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally not gonna try and minimize it or anything, but I'm gonna go to the direct selection tool. And this part's really cool because you can actually fiddle with the line and it gives you a little here. So let me just go back so you can see. Just move that line. This is direct selection tool, and you can also adjust where this is placed. So it literally fits on the line perfectly. And then the same at the top here, down below. And just move that there. You just want to double check that it's still in place. So I'm going to go through this again with another line so you guys can obviously get used to it again. So what I do is I'm going to grab the pen tool, and which line shall I choose down? Let me choose these rays here on the side. So I'm going to start out here, and I'm just going to click, and I'm going to click to the point where I want it to stop. So I want it to stop here, and I want it to be a curve. Again, I'm going to zoom out so I can see it. And you can see that I've gone for two options here. If you solely look at my sketch, try not to look at the line, you can see that what I've actually done is the rays here are a bit more, the arrows are a bit more, they're much more narrow, and here they're a bit more wide. I realized by sketching that I actually preferred the narrow look, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue the narrow look. So how I do that is I click on it, and what I do is I don't do an extra point and go up. What I simply do is I just got adjusted. What I simply do is I leave it there, and I bring it up, and voila, there you go, I have the narrow version. So again, I go to the direct selection tool. This is where you zoom in, and I just fit it in appropriately. Okay, and I can see that part kind of sticking out a little bit, so what I want to do is I just want to drag this out a bit and have it there. I do want this part to be a little bit more wider, so I'm just going to make it wider by just making it like this, and also just adjusting it. So you just kind of learn and toggle along the way. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to continue the three here, and I'm actually going to just fast forward that part. I will just try and experiment one thing whilst I do have you, is I'm going to see if I can duplicate this. So I've literally copied and pasted it with the shortcuts on the keypad, and I think I can. That's great news. So I'll literally do this. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to use the direct selection tool to drag it. And I'm going to do the same here. And to ensure that the curve is actually in line. There we go. So I'm just going to continuously do this throughout. Okay, so I've done the basics of all around. I'm going to go through the whole vector of doing the feature of the actual chimp. So what I'm going to do to actually make it easier for myself and for you guys watching, I'm going to actually clear this. I'm going to lock it and clear it. So you guys will only just see that side. And I'm literally going to talk to you through step by step how I go through everything. It might be a little bit too technical, and if it is, I might stop babbling on, and if it's not, then I'll just continue. Okay, so let's get the face. So let's see what we have so far. So far we have the head, so we have to get the features. Cool. So let's start with the side here, face. So I'm turning and I'm following it. I'm trying to minimize the amount of lines that I'm actually doing. So you can see here that I actually just want to get this half of the face because I want that to be one complete color. That's how I've decided that to be one shape, and I've decided that during the sketching phase. So I'll just go around like this, and it kind of curves this way. So it goes around here, and then what I do is I click, press Alt at the same time, and then I will drag it again here and I will curve it, and then I click Alt at the same time, and then I literally drag it there. At that point you probably might not see it because it's overlapping. You can see on the sketch on this side. So now I'm literally going to go and curve it around here, and then from this point I'm just going to curve it again, and I'm just going to do the lips. So always Alt. The reason why you don't click and click again is because what you're doing is you're creating many points, and that actually is quite disturbing when you want to go back. So you just click, turn here, and you continue going up because I want the line to continuously go up, and then I want it to come back again, back into place. Perfect. And then I want to come back around here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I can see the nose is there. I'm going to do that as a separate shape. So I'm literally just going to, let me just zoom in for you guys. And I'll just do this little nose here, overlapping. And there we go. Don't know why. And there we have the nose. I'm just going to drag the nose a bit because I want it to come off the face as well. I want it to look curved. So there we go. Let me just put that all in black so you guys can see. So that's a separate shape. So you guys can clearly see that. Yeah? Okay, so let's continue to the eyes. Actually, let's do this part. This part I kind of want it to be an actual shape. So what I'm going to do is it kind of curves with you. So it's going to come around. I promise you guys, the more you do this, the easier it will get. Again, do you see how I mean? The swatches here, it's been filled in. So what you need to do is you need to swap it and make sure the fill is in the middle. And you can also notice my lines here are almost kind of crooked. I'm going to show you a little trick other than using the direct selection tool that I also use. So I also use the smooth tool. Depends on how your artboard is. I'm always having to find where the smooth tool is. It should be in its place. So you literally just draw over it, and the bad thing, I guess the bad side about it is that it creates more points, but it does curve it much more the way I guess you'd want it to. And here I just want to curve these dots. Just want to curve this dot as well. Not sure if I can. Let's see. There we go. And I want to there we go. So if we zoom out and if we color this, You can see it's done, but I still want to make this thicker, so it's not actually accurate. So okay, so what I'm doing is I want to make this curve an actual curve, and I want it to be very consistent. So I can see there are a bit too many points. So I'm just going to curve it like this, and I think I'll be happy with that. I'm going to make this part just a little bit wide to make it look consistent. Almost looks like he's smiling, and yeah, that's quite a good effect. So cool. Alright, so let's continue on to the eyes. So let's do the eyes first. If you can do circles and use the ellipse tool, use it. Do not hide away from it. Don't try and be perfect. In fact, from using these shapes, you actually learn about points. So when you are doing a circle, it's a 4-point range circle. So you go around and you literally place it that way. I'm actually colouring them in for you so that you can see that they're actual shapes. And again, this is another circle. To make it more consistent, it's good to copy and paste it, or you can click and Alt and then just make the circle go round this way. Okay, and just adjust it the way you'd like it to be. I do want it to look like it's looking upwards. Okay, so let's do the shape. So this has a bit of a peak. So what you want to do, it comes round, press the Alts. Again, make sure the stroke swatch is on, and you come around. And then you come around again. Okay, so that wasn't too good. So what I want to do, also remember my rule, I always have to remind myself, the least points you use, the better it will look. So there's a curve there. So on each curve you essentially want to put a new point. And then you just want to do a new point there. And here. We'll sort that curve part out in a bit. And then we'll just do another. I'm going to bring it round this way. But there is a curve here. And you want to bring the curve around here. I'm literally going to basically stop the shape here. And I'm going to fill that in for you so you can see how that kind of looks. Now this part obviously doesn't look consistent, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the point away and I'll do the lines separately. Now to make this curved, remember what I told you, you can use the smooth tool. And let's see if that works. Sometimes it works in a really nice way, and it almost does work. So let's see if we can get this there. I would think I want to use the direct selection tool to make this part a little bit more pointy. I'll use the direct selection. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so perfect. Right, so now we want to continue on to this part, and we literally just want to do a round line here. And I'm going to bring it up here so it connects. So that kind of looks good. So now I want to do the peak here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the peak. kind of do it inside the lines. Now, to get these tricky little details, what you want to do is you just want to go back, get the selection tool, if it will allow me to. Okay, so go back to the direct selection tool and you want to toggle with it here, and then make sure you don't interfere with any of the other shapes. So this is where you do have to pay attention to what you are actually doing rather than just following some lines. You want to make sure your lines are accurate, because like I said, when you do colour them in, it will show. If you like this video, please subscribe and also hit a like just for me so I know. I'm going to go ahead and color it as I mentioned, so you can just go ahead and watch the process of how I do this. So I'm using these references on the side. I just like some of the colorings, the gradients that I used and the tones, so I'm only going to be using a couple of them. So I guess just sit back and enjoy. I do want to bring this illustration to come out, so I will be having to do some highlights and some shadows on this chimp. So yeah, so just enjoy the rest of the video. If you guys have any more comments or suggestions or any queries that I probably didn't answer or explain properly, could you please put them in the comments below? If not, then I look forward to you in the next video. So I've basically done all the details. I've done an Astrochimp. So this is how you basically... Okay, so I'm basically done with the Astrochimp. So that's basically it. You can see how it looks. Just view presentation mode, and there you go. That's how you do an Astrochimp. It's done, and I'll probably show you some variations and how you would show it to the client. So now you know how to do an Astrochimp. Yay! Super great. I'd really love to see what you guys have come up with after viewing this video. I have a Facebook group where I interact daily with my community, and I actually get to give you guys more tips on how to improve on them. So I'd super love to see what you guys have produced. The link is below my video, where you can access that group, and you can comment and feel free to talk about creativity with myself, and I will definitely get back to you. Alternatively, you can comment in the comments below, and feel free to do that. I also have Instagram and Twitter where you can follow me. And just one more thing, guys, I have a free little gift for you. Yep, so below on my links you will see a link, and it's a beginner's guide to actually using vector designs. I produced that solely for you, and it's for free. You don't have to buy a book for it, you don't have to go online and look. It's a click away, and all I'm going to ask for is nothing. So just click down below and subscribe. Check out this video next on how to produce posters whilst doing vector designs, and also if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to keep up for more.